morning, everyone. Welcome back to NOLA Motorsports Park for what will be the final day of action here in Louisiana for the Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana. My name is Rob Howden, the voice of this USF Pro Championship presented by Continental Tire, and we are set to go for an early morning USF Juniors race. 2 events for all 3 of the series here in the morning, in the afternoon. Of course, looking forward to seeing what happens here with USF Juniors. A green to checker race to start off the season for 2025. Leonardo Scorpioni from Zanella Racing joining me now. 3rd place yesterday. You'll start 4th today. Let's look back at yesterday first. How happy were you with coming home on the podium?
Honestly, it wasn't what I really expected. I mean, my start, I think, was really good. At turn 1, I was able to get to first, starting second. And, I mean, it wasn't really what we hoped for. We just didn't have what VRD had, ultimately, as a team. I feel like they were really quick the whole race, and I saw how much they were catching already from lap 1. It was about just holding on to 3rd at least and finishing on the podium and at least finishing the race, especially for the championship.
Yeah, it was another deal where you were surrounded by VRD drivers, too. Your guys, your teammates at Zanella were right behind you. They were in the top 5, were right there, but darn, man, you needed just a little bit more. You needed some help up there.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult. It was a 2v1 kind of situation. I was by myself there. So I knew when I saw both Oliver and Joao there, I knew it was more about at least finishing top 3 at least.
Yeah, still a great start to the season. You podiumed last year, but you need to get it rolling here to win the championship. What do you think about here on a Sunday morning? Have you made some changes to the car? Did you guys go to work on it, going over data, or is it pretty much the same race car you had today?
I mean, I feel like in the morning especially, as a team, we've been a lot stronger than the afternoon. It's more about adjusting so that when it gets really hot, the temperature. But in the morning, I feel like our car is perfect. There's nothing we need to change, and I feel like for today, we can do really good.
Same mindset, thinking about championship. I know you want that race win, right? You're always going for the victory, but again, we get to Portland. If you've got all those races stacked up, you're going to be in the championship fight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I want to win a race, of course, but if I'm finished P2, P3 for the championship, I'm happy, so.
Never easy for these young drivers. They all want to win. They all come from winning resumes when they were in karting as well. They want to keep winning when they come here to USF Juniors, but only one person can obviously win any race. Leo's going to get his fair share this year for sure. Could be today. And again, when we get back after this break, folks, we're going to come back. It's time to get things underway. Race 2 for USF Juniors.
You can feel confident Continental is the smart choice in tires.
Can they handle extremes?
Yep. Tested from the Texas desert to near the Arctic Circle.
Really?
Really.
Anything for the guy who finds that one pothole?
Yeah. Road hazard coverage has your back.
For real?
Absolutely.
Were they made by, like, a bajillion engineers?
Well, closer to 100. Continental. Welcome to the smart choice in tires.
Great chat with Leonardo Scorpioni here for the pre-race show. And, of course, that young driver looking to grab his first victory here in USF Juniors competition. Yesterday was Joao Vergara. He was able to come away with that victory, finished 8th in the points last year. He comes away with his first win in round number 1. Again, USF 2000, USF Pro 2000 starting their season back at St. Petersburg at the start of March. The Juniors drivers only jealous to be waiting in the wings to get an opportunity to get their season underway, and indeed, away we go. Rolling with it now. Joao Vergara with the win yesterday. Oliver Weldon in second spot. Third spot yesterday was Leonardo Scorpioni. Those 3 drivers pulling away to battle it out amongst themselves. Every one of these drivers hope they have sat down, they've looked over the data, and they potentially have cars that could be a little bit faster. Rolling into race number 2. A busy day for us here, folks, at NOLA Motorsports Park. 6 events on the docket for you. This is a lone show here right now. We'll have a quick break, come back with USF 2000, another break, and then we'll go back-to-back with USF Pro 2000, that enhanced show with the pre-race and pit walk. Then we'll follow it right up with USF Juniors. 2 more races at the end of the day for 2000 and Pro. Let's have a look at the grid here right now. 22 drivers. Colleran in the number 29 machine, a driver out of Ohio, has been finding speed in leaps and bounds for Zanella Racing here over the weekend. Did a fantastic job yesterday. She'll start 22nd outside of row number 11. Alongside her, it'll be the number 17 of Thomas Nordquist from Omaha, Nebraska for D-Force Racing. Up now into row number 10 on the outside from Florida. The number 16 is Lincoln Day for D-Force Racing, and he'll start alongside Connor Aspley, the driver out of Missouri, for number 27 for Pole Position Motorsports. That team making their debut here this weekend. Row number 9 on the outside from London, England. That is Harry Moss from J. Howard Driver Development. Moss in the number 5. And on the inside, Kaylee Countryman from Exclusive Autosport, the Arizona driver, in the number 90, one of the 3 female drivers we have in the series this year, the most we've had ever in USF Pro Championships competition. Great to have Maddie Collar and Kelly Countryman and Emma Scarborough as well. She'll be up on row number 8. She'll start on the inside of the number 26 for Inter MS with her teammate Michael Succo alongside her from Birmingham, Alabama. Succo in the number 24. Michael joined me yesterday as one of my driver analysts on the day. We'll have more joining me here today. Moving forward now to row number 7, Hudson Potter on the outside in the number 25, one of the 3 Inter-MS drivers. Hudson looking to put his head down to work his way into the top 10, starting in that 14th spot. Alongside him is the number 9 of J.T. Hoskins out of Sarasota, Florida, the J. Howard Driver Development Machine. Hoskins starting in 13th. Up now to row number 6 on the outside for VRD Racing. It's Matan Achatov in the number 77, 12th yesterday. That's where he'll roll off today. Achatov from Israel starting 12th alongside Carol Stout in the number 4. Stout out of Switzerland, driving for J. Howard Driver Development. He was able to get close to the top 10 as well in the 11th position. Drivers rolling off the grid now for that pace lap around this track that we'll go over in a couple of seconds. It'll be into the top 10 now with Diego Guillo for Zanella Racing in the number 12. Able to work his way up to 10th. Now he'll start 10th here. And I look forward to get himself a little deeper into the top of this grid. Guillo in the number 12, the Texan starting 10th. Alongside him, the first of the 2 Gonzalez brothers. It'll be D-Force Racing's Rodrigo Gonzalez in the number 18 starting in 9th. And on row number 4 on the inside, his brother Patricio in the number 15 starting in that 9th position. Both those drivers had a good run yesterday. Patricio finishing 7th, Rodrigo in 9th. Alongside Rodrigo Gonzalez will be Patricio Gonzalez, will be Brendan Cooley out of Illinois, the Exclusive Autosport driver in the number 92. Did a great job yesterday coming home in the 8th position in the opening race of the triple header. He'll start 8th today and is aiming to try to get himself up into the top 5. He was as high as 6th at one point yesterday. We'll move now to row number 3. Vilo Atola, the driver out of Finland, in the number 14 for D-Force Racing, starting 6th. Alongside him, P5 starting spot for yesterday's winner, João Vergara. Work to do for the VRD driver in the number 10, starting from the inside of row number 3. Row 2 has the 2 Zanella Racing drivers, Leonardo Scorpioni and Ty Fisher. Scorpioni on the outside in the 55, Ty Fisher on the inside in the number 37. Another one of my driver analysts, the Canadian, joining me yesterday afternoon. 22 drivers in the field, 2 on the front row, 1 from VRD, 1 from J. Howard Driver Development. Oliver Weldon trying to follow in the footsteps of his brother Sebastian, who was a race winner here at NOLA last year in the opening round of the USF Juniors program. Oliver in that number 98 out of St. Petersburg, Florida, set to start in P2. But the driver who will start on the pole, a new track record for Liam Loyacono for J. Howard Driver Development. The Aussie went P1 with a 37.976. We are about set to go. Let's have a quick look at the track itself, folks. They're working their way out of turn number 8 and 9. 2.74 miles, 13 turns. You can see the big long straightaway into 1, and the long straightaway of the big 5, 6, 7 super fast right-handing combination through the 8-9 chicane down to turn number 10. 10 and 1, your best passing opportunities on this racetrack. Drivers now circulating their way through turns number 10, 11, and 12, the final complex of corners, and of course 13 right across the red and white rumble strips on the out there, pointing at the wall. They get her turn, and of course on the loud pedal the entire time. But here we go. Loyacono on the pole alongside Oliver Weldon. Shout out to everyone from Australia who's up to watch this one here today, as Loyacono, the rookie, the Formula Ford race winner and champion, looking to try to get his first win. Weldon thwarted yesterday by his teammates. João Vergara, will he come to the front to get a victory? Expecting some action here into turn number 1. Field nice and slow coming up. Loyacono can punch off when he wants, and we're underway. Green, 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 and a fantastic start for Loyacono. Behind him as well, a Scorpion is going to try to go around the outside. We'll make it 3 wide coming down to the braking zone. There's bumps at the apex of this corner. You'll watch these cars bounce a little bit way around the outside as I believe Weldon has taken the lead. Loyacono was down to the bottom, again sweeping from drivers left to right. Weldon, I believe, into the lead indeed, down into turn number 3. A challenge further back. A Scorpione going to the inside of Loyacono. Going to run him a little wide on the exit, not surprising. And again, a Scorpione up into second. You can see as well the fight from further back. Vilo Atola has himself up in there as well. Weldon taking advantage of the battle behind him to kind of try to stretch away here. USF Juniors going green to checker yesterday. Can they do it here again today? Opening lap looking good. Weldon, a Scorpione, Loyacono, and then I believe Vilo. So underway there. There's the number 12 of Guio. He's got a pretty good start as well. Guio, I think, from 10th, potentially up into the 7th spot. Diego Guio puts 3 Zanella drivers in the top 10. A Scorpione, head down now, trying to see if he can't reel in Oliver Weldon. And one of the key components of the program here. Let's look further back first. We may have a little bit of a pass to the inside. There's a move to the bottom of the racetrack. That's Guio getting by. Big move to the inside that's actually Ty Fisher. And I believe Brendan Cooley. Evan and Brendan have a couple of brothers in the program, as we know. We've got the Gonzalez brothers. We've got the Cooley brothers here as well. Evan running in USF 2000. Brendan, his first year. He ran Road America last year, did Brendan. First full year, though, here in USF Juniors. And he's going to join me in the booth later on today. We're going to have him here for the call of USF 2000 Race 3. A little aggressive further back. See a couple drivers going side by side of the one. There's just so much room for one. Here's a move to the inside. Fisher had a bit of trouble coming through turn number 2. Dropped the wheel. We do have one of the Inter-MS drivers around. That may be Emma Scarborough. Trying to get live timing to pop up for me right now here. It's not working, so I'm going to have to go off what I see on the racetrack here now. Look at this battle further back. 2 of the Zanella drivers right in there. Brendan Cooley as well. They are stacking it up behind Atola. Vilo Atola, the Finnish driver. Oh, I think we have a new leader. I believe that a Scorpione maybe has gone to the lead because that looked like Loyacono getting by Oliver Weldon. Yeah, there's a Scorpione. He's to the lead, and Loyacono goes to second as we were following that battle for 4th on back. Not sure what happened to Weldon, as now it's a Scorpione out front. Front-running drivers have gapped up a little bit. Driver's gone off. That's Kaylee Countryman, I believe, off the racetrack. She's going to try to get that thing rolling. They're watching her now. That's coming out of turn number 8 and 9. There must have been contact there. She's well down. She is rolling still. So she's going to be able to get herself back onto the track. So we will not go yellow, but Kaylee Countryman off on the outside. Driver's left coming out of turn number 9, the straightaway, down into turn number 10. She'll continue. There's your leader, though. Leonardo Scorpione up front. And he's got a gap. Look at this. You're waiting for Loyacono, your pole sitter, now runs in second. Weldon in third. And live timing not up. We'll see what we can do to get that for you folks. I know you're probably trying to watch on the app as well, or on the website itself. We'll give a shout out to everybody who's jumping into the live chat here on our USF Pro TV YouTube channel. Hello to all of those of you tuning in. I'll check in every once in a while and have a look at it here, but thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. There's your leader coming through now, turn number 10, 11 and 12. Again, we talked to a Scorpione in the pre-show, starting in that 4th position. Oh, Ty Fisher going to force the issue to the inside of Atola, and he's got it done. Fisher to the inside at turn 10. Book it. He's through. Diego Guio pushing as well as Zanella Racing, trying to put yet another driver up there into the top 5, as Diego Guio, who finished 10th yesterday, having a much better day today. He was not happy with qualifying for race 1. He wanted so much more out of the race car. I talked to him afterwards. He was disappointed, but they were able to put it back together for qualifying 2. And we don't have the grid set for race 3 yet because, yes, you use your second fastest time for qualifying 2, but if you go faster in the race, you can use that lap instead of the lap that you posted in qualifying. So we're not quite sure yet. Everybody with a provisional time down for race number 3 in terms of the grid. But if they go quicker than that time here in race number 2, they can use that time to move themselves further up the order. So you see the 37 of Ty Fisher, the young Canadian driver from the West Coast, British Columbia, pulling away a little bit here from Vito Atola. Behind him is Diego Guillo. And I believe right behind him as well is Brendan Cooley. We'll have a better look as they come through. There's second and third. You can see that Loiacono pulling away from Weldon. I don't know what happened on that opening circuit, as Weldon, as we know, had the lead from the get-go, but number 1 got passed by a Scorpione and then found himself in a battle with Loiacono. So yeah, there's Cooley now running in the 6th spot. 7th is Vergara, yesterday's winner. He comes in, of course, as the point leader. Brendan Cooley, I believe, finishing in the 11th spot yesterday. I'd said that he finished in 8th. That was the qualifying time. Looking at the results from yesterday, Vergara, Weldon, the Scorpione, top 3. Fisher was 4th. Gonzalez, Rodrigo Gonzalez, 5th. Loiacono, 6th. Guillo, 7th. Stout, 8th. Succo, 9th. Hoskin, 10th. Cooley, 11th. So indeed, talking about Guillo working his way up from 14th to 7th. Look at this scrap further back again. That's Weldon getting his way back around Loiacono. What a good fight here for second now. That was coming through 1 and 2, back to 3. See if Loiacono can come back at him again. He made a great pass over in turn number 6 and 7. Live timing back up and running. Love to see that. 4 laps down. Let's give you a top 10 now, folks. Scorpione leading the way. Loiacono in 2nd. Weldon 3rd. Fisher 4th. Make it Weldon up into 2nd. We just saw that pass. There's the ticker for you at home. Atola runs in 5th. Diego Guillo in 6th. Cooley 7th. Vergara 8th. Gonzalez brothers 9th and 10th. Rodrigo Gonzalez and Patricio Gonzalez. I believe that Guillo now by Atola, so move him now up into 5th. That would put Atola in 6th, Cooley 7th. Look at Loiacono. Back to the inside of turn number 10, to the bottom. Weldon doesn't want to give it up. Loiacono does have to, but that's going to allow Ty Fisher to close in on the fight. Fisher finished 4th yesterday. He wants that podium. A couple of wins this year in the Academy Winter Series. We're going to have ourselves a battle here pretty soon. A couple of shout-outs to those of you on the chat. Thank you so much. Good morning to all of you. Great to see you there. Stars of this program, as we know. We talk a lot about the drivers who have made their way to the NTT IndyCar Series, right? Who have come through what was then the road to Indy, coming through USF 2000, USF Pro. As the driver's gone off there at the end of the straightaway, you see one of the, I believe, the Inter MS cars off the end of the straightaway. It might have been Hudson Potter. We'll check that out when he comes back around. But it's really interesting because we're going to have to, we have to be patient. We're going to bide our time before we get that first juniors driver who gets all the way through the program to find their way, of course, to IndyCar. Our first ever juniors champion was Matt Clark back in 2022. Nicholas Giafoni in 2023. Nicholas ran USF 2000 last year, but he's back in Brazil right now. Didn't have the budget to come back and run USF 2000 again, so we'll shout out to Nicholas Giafoni, doing a bunch of racing down in Brazil. Last year winning was Max Taylor. Max is going to get up into Indy next this year. So we're watching these guys. It's still probably a couple years away before we talk about our first juniors driver who has come all the way through our 3 levels of competition here in the USF Pro Championship. But excited to see who it could be. There's so much talent here this year. 8 returning drivers, 14 rookies. Top 10 right now split right in half. The rookies sitting 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and throw Cooley in there in 8th. Second-year drivers are Scorpioni in first, Gio sixth, Vergara seventh, Gonzalez ninth and 10th. I'm Loiacono. I'm realizing what's going on here right now because Ty Fisher is closed right up. Back through turn number one. Loiacono doesn't seem to have the pace right now to stay right with Weldon, who lost about 0.3 of a second. Up the road right now is a Scorpioni. We're at the halfway point now. 6 laps down, 6 to go in a scheduled 12. 12 laps here for race number 2 for USF Juniors. And there is Weldon. In that Gainbridge Andretti Global VRD Racing entry. Of course, we saw Sebastian Weldon last year. He'll be running Italian F4 this year with Prema. Oliver Skip Barber Formula Race Series champion from 2024. Come out of the gate strongly here. Qualified to the pole for race number 1. Sits second place in points right now, back by only 4 from Vergara. It'll be tight. As if it finishes as it is right now, it definitely will be tight because a Scorpioni came in there in third, but he's looking at potentially grabbing a win here if it all works out for him. Loiacono was in 6th. Good stuff right now. JT Hoskins out early. Not sure what happened to JT, and I believe it was Hudson Potter who had the issue down in turn number 1 and overcooked it there and went off. He's down and has lost a lap. Big run up the straightaway. Big run for Cooley as well. Oh, look to the inside there. I think that's actually Vergara potentially putting the pressure here now on Gio. Yes. João Vergara looking to the inside at turn 3. Can he lunge it up there? He does. Look at the under braking deep into the corner. Gio wisely allows it to happen, tucks back in behind the gearbox. So another spot up there for Vergara. Scorpioni, Weldon, Loiacono, Fisher, Attila was the top 5 last time by. We saw that Vergara getting a spot. He's already been able to jet away from Gio a little bit here. There's the 37 to Ty Fisher, running 4th. Loiacono right behind him. We talked to Joey Brienza yesterday in the booth, and he talked to us about how much the aero wash plays a role, especially through 5, 6, and 7. Those very quick corners in the back where you're maybe just breathing. Here in these cars, these juniors, you're very likely, full wood. You got the thing flat to the floorboard. And indeed, at this point here, you get that little bit of aero wash and you're going to struggle with it. And Loiacono has gone back by Weldon with a move to the inside of 10. So the fight for second continuing to heat up. Weldon back to 3rd. Little pedal there for Fisher. He lost a bit coming through the corner, almost like he had to check up. But that has allowed Loiacono to go back into the lead. He's going to run to the bottom of the racetrack. Watch for Weldon to pop out here. Loiacono to the bottom. Fisher's going to do the full race line while these guys are working side by side. Little bump there for Loiacono as he turned into the corner. You saw the front end wash a bit. Here's a move to the inside. This could get ugly. Look at this. Fisher's going to try to be there as well. They're side by side coming through the corner. Loiacono's still going to have the inside. Fisher has to be careful as they're going to bang wheels here. Fisher's going to tuck to the inside. He may get Weldon if they run him down to turn number 5. He may not have it, but this is a great battle for P2. Weldon pushing hard to try to find a way by here. This is fantastic racing for 2nd, 3rd on back. This has allowed Attila and Vergara to close. Look at that in the back of that run there. Fisher ready to put the pressure here now as they come down to turn 10. Fisher's going to look to the inside. He's trying to make a bid for 3rd. Weldon with a bit of a jink on him into the corner. And I think he's going to run him through. Look at this. Fisher on the outside there. Nicely done. Fisher gets the job done. Weldon thinking about tucking it to the inside of 12. Not there. Fisher to P3. But look at Vergara. Attila and Vergara closing up on Weldon here as well. Well, the action for second on back has taken the focus off of Leonardo Scorpioni. Here's a big move to the bottom. Attila trying to hold off Vergara. He'll throw it into the inside. Do we get the over-under? There's so much room on the exit there. Even though there's the bump when you make that shallow entry, Vergara gets it done. So back-to-back passes for Vergara. One in turn 1, one in turn 3. And he works his way now up into 5th. João Vergara having a great drive here. Started 5th, fell back to 7th, and he's now back to P5. 3 laps remaining. Vergara trying to get himself back onto the podium here. Remember, your point leader after the big victory yesterday. Here's your top 10 right now. Scorpioni, Loiacono, Fisher, Weldon, Vergara, Attila, Gio, Cooley, and the Gonzalez brothers, Rodrigo and Patricio. Right behind them, Karel Stout in 11th, Michael Suko 12th, Matan Achitov 13th, Harry Moss in 14th spot, Lincoln Day runs 15th, Connor Aspley in 16th, 17th, Thomas Nordquist, 18th, Emma Scarborough, 19th, Maddie Colleran, 20th, Kaylee Countryman, and both Hudson Potter and JT Hoskins out of this race. Kai Fisher now throwing the target onto the gearbox of Loiacono. They've gapped each other out here a little bit. No nose-to-tail action as of yet, but we'll see whether or not Weldon gets a big run down the straightaway. Does Fisher go defensive to the inside? He does not. He runs the racing line down. He's on the chase. Fisher staring down the barrel, his first podium finish. Stellar 2024 junior level national karting here in the U.S. for Kai Fisher, in the fight for the championship and in the fight for the race wins at the Super Nationals in Las Vegas, both in the KA 100 and X30 junior category. Came away with a podium in KA junior, I believe. Now running in the senior class, just 14 years of age, running against the big dogs in senior racing who are in their high teens and early to mid-20s, the veterans of the sport. If you watch karting at all, you're talking about the Ryan Norbergs and Austin Garrison and Diego Ramos, those drivers that are essentially paid team drivers for their operation. Ty, just 14 years of age, is acquitting himself very well. He'll do a lot of karting throughout the year. Even though the focus is on USF Juniors, he's going to stay karting as much as he can in that senior category. On the TB kart. All right, let's get some time up front here for a Scorpioni. Well played here for our camera crew to pick up Leonardo Scorpioni, the driver of the number 55 out of Windermere, Florida, in the Pier 1 Mensalized Tatis JR23 for Zanella. This is huge for this young driver. We talked to him in the pre-show. He told me all he wanted to do was win. I asked him if it was more about championship. White flag flying. 1 to go for a Scorpioni. It was a 4.8 second lead last time by. Shout out to Naka Zanella and Ernie Ganella, the engineer of that team. Ernie, a very highly respected engineer. He knows these race cars. He has put Zanella in 1 year into a position as one of the powerhouses. We have a driver off, though, here on the final lap. That is the 16 of Lincoln Day, who is in the gravel trap. I expect to let the leader roll to the end. He comes through 3 and 4. Not sure whether or not the full course will come out. The yellow is on. They may run this to the end. Out of 4 for a Scorpioni. Final circuit for the Floridian. Brazilian heritage, living in Florida. A Scorpioni for Zanella. They are looking to win their first USF Juniors race, a debut last year as a freshman team. Naka Zanella, noted engine builder in karting, had a storied karting career himself. They had a Formula Renault team a long time ago with his father. He's focusing now on this program for USF Juniors, 4 cars under the tent. And when they made their debut here last year, they were new. They were putting the program together. 1 year on, and they're going to come away as a race winner. Through the final couple of corners, onto the front straightaway. We'll have 2 winners on the 2025 season to get things underway. Race 2 here at NOLA Motorsports Park belongs to Leonardo Scorpioni. Zanella Racing winning in their second year of competition. Liam Loiacono ends up coming in second. Oliver Weldon able to get by Ty Fisher on the final lap. Ty, fourth again. The podium will have to wait to this afternoon. Weldon grabbing third. Excellent job for Oliver to get to P3. Ty Fisher in fourth. Juan Vergara in fifth. Vito Attala in sixth spot. Diego Gio seventh. Another top 10 for Brendan Cooley in eighth. Rodrigo Gonzalez ninth, and Karel Stout able to get by. He and Michael Succo able to get by Patricio Gonzalez over the last couple of laps. Stout now into the top 10. Heck of a race there. Back-to-back top 10s for Stout. Gio, Cooley's first top 10. He was 11th in race one. I'd said he got two. No, now he moves up 3 spots. Cooley, his first top 10 in USF Juniors competition as well. What do you think about that, folks, on the YouTube channel watching the broadcast? That was a heck of a battle for sure. Very impressive. We had great racing all the way through. Love that. And indeed, a Scorpione on top. The margin of victory, 3.893 seconds. He was able to pull away, let the drivers fight behind him, and come out with a win. Liam Loiacono as well. Impressive, the improvement from yesterday. He was 6th on the road in race number 1. Call it second here from pole. I believe he'll be on pole, I think, for race number 3 as well. I don't know if anybody went quicker in that one. Fast lap time's 38.6. So Scorpione, Loiacono, and Weldon will roll their way in here. Fisher in 4th, Vergara at 5th, Attala 6th, Gio 7th, Cooley, Gonzalez, and Stout. And Stout, rounding out the top 10. Michael Succo 11th, Patricio Gonzalez in 12th, Matan Achitov 13th, Harry Moss up to 14th. Moss started 18th, so plus 4 for him. Waiting for the winner to cruise his way in here. Behind Moss was Thomas Nordquist in 15th, started 21st, so plus 6 for Nordquist. Scarborough 16th, Colleran up to 17th. She started 22nd, so plus 5 for Maddie Colleran. Connor Aspley ends up in 18th. Kaylee Countryman 19th. Lincoln Day spinning on the last lap. Hudson Potter and JT Hoskins out early. But we'll let the drivers roll in here now. Here they come. Leonardo Scorpione. Just 15 years of age in that 55 machine for Zanella Racing. Going to get an opportunity to celebrate his first victory. We'll get the helmet off of Leonardo, let him get out of the car. This is big, not just for Leonardo, but also for Zanella Racing. As I'd said over the last couple of laps there, this team just debuted last year. They were putting cars together. They literally, last year at NOLA, had a 4th car that they had pulled out. They had bought from another team. They put in Alex Popow, who was trying to put the deal together. They were doing whatever they could to get on the grid, make sure everything was set up. Fast forward to 2025, the opening weekend of the year, and they are now race winners in this program, and they put 3 drivers again in the top 7. Here he is out of the car, folks. Leonardo Scorpione, his first win in USF Juniors competition. The smile says it all. And I'll tell you, Zanella Racing is going to be in the hunt for this team championship as well. VRD led the team championship out of the opening race with 40 points, but Zanella had 27. VRD finishing 3rd and 5th in this one. Zanella 1st, 4th, and 7th. Good stuff there for Leonardo Scorpione, folks. I'm going to head down to Victory Lane right now. Stay with us. Victory Lane celebrations of the Champagne Spray for race number 2 for juniors coming up next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're set to go here now with Victory Lane for USF Juniors race number 2, all part of this Continental Tire Grand Prix of Louisiana. Big last lap pass for this driver who had a good run yesterday. He gets himself back onto the podium, finishing in 3rd spot in race number 2. Oliver Weldon, folks, from VRD Racing, P3. Good battling here for 2nd, 3rd on back. It was a scrap of about 4 or 5 drivers at one point, but the driver getting here onto the podium, folks, Liam Loiacono for J. Howard Driver Development, finishing in 2nd today. Track record holder here at the racetrack now on the podium as well. Awesome run for Liam. But again, a first win not only for the driver, but for the team as well. Put your hands together, folks. The winner in race number 2, Leonardo Scorpione. Leo, how much does this mean to you? Tell me how you feel.
I'm really happy. I mean, so finally get my first win after a full season last year, and especially for the first win of the team, especially me. I've been on the team since 2021, a long time, and honestly, it's just amazing.
Tell me about the race itself. You were able to jet out front. You've seen this in karting before. Once you get out front, they'll battle behind you. When in the race did you think you probably had it locked?
I mean, I saw Oliver go off and when I passed him, and I was like, after that, I had to put my head down and put some 4 or 5 good laps. And I did that, and after I saw they were battling, I saw, okay, I had it.
Who do you want to thank today?
I want to thank my dad, Naka, Jessica, the whole NOLA team, Mimo, my sponsors, Quill, Mensalized Quaritz, and Pier 1.
Well done. Hop on top here. Leonardo Scorpione, folks, 2 first-time winners here this year so far for USF Juniors. We know that Joao Vergara won yesterday. Scorpione today. Excellent job for that young driver. Get those trophies up in the air. The champagne, of course, waiting in the wings. We have race number 3 still to come this afternoon. And again, 3 different teams on the podium. It's been kind of the theme of our podiums here so far this weekend. Zanello Racing, J. Howard Driver Development, and VRD on the podium here for race number 2. We saw some drivers behind with a lot of speed as well. Ty Fisher almost coming away with the podium. Oliver able to slide by on the last lap. Diego Guillo had a lot of pace. Vilo Atala as well was right in there. There are a number of drivers with an opportunity to get their first podiums here this weekend as well. One more shot at it. It's part of the triple header to start off the 2025 season for USF Juniors. Zanello Racing, if you want to move your car out of the way so it doesn't get covered in champagne, I'm sure you'll like that. Champagne is ready. We'll put the car out of the way. Guys, let's wrap things up. Grip it and rip it. Have some spray in it since they practice as well. Scorpione with the win. Loiacono second. Weldon third. And a great way to start off the day. 6 races, as I said, on the docket for a Sunday here at NOLA Motorsports Park. Those of you tuning in on the YouTube channel, hope you enjoyed that first race. We'll come back again very soon. Do it again with USF 2000. Of course, the full pre-race show for race number 2 for USF Pro 2000. Grid walk, command of fire engines, driver interviews. Looking forward to it for sure. We'll be back, folks. USF 2000 will be up next. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.